Hi there, my name is Jeremiah. For as long as I can remember, I've had an almost morbid fascination with anything and everything paranormal, especially those things that venture into the darkest recesses of our primal fears and spark the thoughts that for most would be the stuff of nightmares. In 2007, this fascination, along with some unexplainable experiences, led me to start a paranormal research team known today as Everyday Legacy Paranormal. Then in 2011, a road trip led myself and a close friend into the darkest places we had ever been. That was the beginning of Road Trip Paranormal. Now, while still active with them, I no longer lead either of those teams, but the people that make them up are the best friends a guy like me could ask for. Myself, along with Jason, Leo, Roth, Max, and Michelle are reaching out to share our passions for everything odd, fringe, and paranormal with the world. We are Cryptic Heartland. And we are live. How's everyone doing tonight?
I'm doing. How about you?
Well, yeah, about that. Welcome to the Cryptic Heartland Show. We are. What is it we say? I ask that every week.
Yeah.
What was your tagline?
Well, my tagline was different from everybody else's, so.
What's your tagline?
And remember, this is the podcast talks about everything paranormal, to Bigfoot, to UFOs, pretty much everything under the sun and then some. Plus, we're not afraid to poke the bear, right, Jeremiah?
That's right.
He's a bear.
I can't wait till I see what the topic
He
is.
just squeals when you poke him.
Yeah.
No,
You guys
it's the
wanna-
Michelin Man.
You guys want to take a minute and introduce our guest tonight?
Nah, let people guessing at home what's going
Yeah,
on.
okay.
So.
That's
But
always fun.
before we do, make sure people at home watching, make sure you like our page, make sure you subscribe to it, like this video, get the word out. We want to make sure we get as much viewers as we can. So with that, this is episode 37. We're kind of going to do some fun stuff with it tonight, and we have a couple of special guests, as you can see on each end. Once again, I'm Leo, and to my left,
Jason?
and to my right,
Roth.
and then our special guest to my other left,
Jake.
and to my right.
Hello, I'm Dan.
Yep, so we got a couple guests in studio. They've accompanied us on a couple different things, a couple different adventures, whether it be a ghost tour, to one of our public events, to even partaking in some of our investigations or, some of our WTF files that Jake had the pleasure of taking part of also too. So, other than that, let's have some fun tonight. You okay over there?
Yeah.
You gonna make it?
I can't breathe.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Sounds
Sorry.
sounds like a white person rapping over there.
or a walkie. Over. Jason, I'm right next to you.
I can't breathe.
I have to breathe and talk to you. I think we'll all be over sniffing all night with allergies and whatever else. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been that type of weekend, so.
I'm good.
What he asked you. Anyways, just messing around. So what do you think? What should we do tonight?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
This is the easiest show again.
Well, aren't we just excited to be alive?
We are. We definitely are. Yeah. So, kind of what I think we want to do tonight is we invited these guests in because, like I said, they've been a part of some of our adventures along the way and got to see behind the scenes how we operate and just different things. We want to just touch base with everybody or, kind of get an idea of what brings them to the paranormal field and, why kind of hang out, why pick us of all the groups you guys, see on TV or out there and about. I mean, whatever, so anybody want to take off or lead or not take off, like leave, lead the conversation. Sorry, my bad. What do you
So,
think?
you guys have been with us for a little bit, and you have your own background about everything that you've done. You've been places, even in places where even I haven't even been
Right.
to.
Especially you probably. Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm
So-
sure.
Sorry.
But
Yeah, he's starting to sound like Captain
it's
Kirk.
it's with the popularity of the paranormal and everything, and we constantly are getting asked. Well, because people are watching everything on TV, so therefore they expect the same thing in person. What they're seeing on TV, they expect that, and it doesn't really mesh that way.
No, it doesn't
It
at all.
doesn't. So it is completely different. So tonight I kind of want to talk about the differences between reality and the TV, and get your thoughts on some of the things that we do that may be different or maybe improve,
Sure.
or anything like that.
Yeah.
Get ideas, stuff like that. Like that's easy. No arguments.
Like I was. You were saying.
No, so what's everyone's favorite show right now?
Mine's probably
I didn't ask you
American
that.
Idol or no kidding
American
around.
Idol.
What?
Really?
It's a joke.
The new version or the old version?
He's not joking, Josh. He's not joking.
That was the thing I could think of off the top of my head. I was trying to think of something even better, but I was like, oh.
You wear your glitter shirt
Oh,
while you watch it?
Oh, Wheel of Fortune every night.
Heck yeah.
There's actually nothing wrong with that.
Oh, but American Idol there is. Let's see how it is.
Yeah.
I do not watch American Idol, people. Have I watched it? Probably, yes. But not, I don't, yeah. Anyways,
Probably.
I watched one
Okay.
season to see what it was about. I'm like, okay, I'm done. That's all I needed to see. So, anywho, I think we're talking about more what type of, like, paranormal related
Yeah,
show.
well,
or,
what piques your interest
UFOs
right
or
now?
Bigfoot.
I'll go ahead and go. I think one of is the Township.
Yeah, the Ghost of
Ghost of
Yeah,
Shepherd's
the
Town.
Ghost of
Shepherd's
Shepherd's
Oh,
Town.
that-
I
I've
just
never
finished
heard
that
that one.
out.
You know, I kind of got interested in that one,
Yeah, tell about it, you know
just
the
for
name
the
of it.
simple fact that they started doing some new stuff with it. It was a lot different than the other ones. There was actually a whole township that was in the for the storyline. And one thing else I liked about it too is a lot of these paranormal shows they deal with a couple different people. They go in, they go into one room, go into another part of the building, someone else goes over here, and they keep going back and forth. What I liked about the Township was that they focused on 3 different types of people.
Right.
And I'm still gonna get screwed up on that
Sure.
word, so Dan's gonna help me out tonight. One, you have your
empath.
empath. The other person is your equipment guy that goes in with every
Tech
type
guy.
of equipment. Anything techie, he's got it. And then you have the person that tells the story, like Jason does. I consider Jason our history guy a lot. And so every time they go into a room, he would explain why they're there. And you got your tech guy, you've got your
Empath.
and and what I liked about this is if they didn't hit on something, they were gone. I mean, 10 seconds they're in another area,
Right.
And they're actually doing the investigation. They're asking the right questions. They're trying to actually find something in that house, and so I really like that because it's been something different.
Yeah, they were looking for an actual reason behind it. They weren't just looking for the haunting. They're trying to find the reason that the haunting exists in that location and or the town at that time. So yeah, it was kind of cool how they did it.
I really liked it. That's been my new fix.
And of course, Dead Files. I'm still
Yeah, it's still working.
Yeah. Dead Files is another one that I've been still following a little bit. It's kind of it hasn't had any new series as of late, but I think they're getting ready.
Actually, they just came
No,
back.
it
yeah.
just started.
It started again, yeah.
Oh, see.
Yeah,
I-
so-
I-
Yeah, we're about
DVR
3
yet.
episodes
Yeah.
in the new one.
Yep.
Dude, okay.
Yep.
So I'm behind now. Thank you.
So what makes that stand out for you?
Dead Files. Again, they do the same thing. They have an investigator go in to town and investigate, find information on the cause, and he does his thing, finds out everything that he can find out, and then behind it they send a psychic per se into the town, and she does her own investigations, talks to everybody, and then at the end of the show, they meet up and they compare to see what they both found. And more times than not, I mean, they're almost on top of each other as far as the information, which is kind of neat, you know. So it's basically it's a a 2-person operation, but yeah, neat.
What about you?
Really haven't been watching any new ghost shows. I watch well, off topic, I watch that Mystery of Oak Island a lot. You guys ever watch that one?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do watch
I'm
it as
so
well.
tired. I'm gonna poke
Yeah.
the bear.
Yeah.
Done on Oak Island. I'm just, I don't know. Not Jake, love you to death, man. But
Yeah, that's-
I'm
that's
so
all right.
sick of that play. You know how much time I've wasted
Watching
watching
the
that
show?
series? I'm just
Well,
done.
how much time have they wasted and money?
I don't care.
Yeah.
They're getting paid. I'm not.
Technology that we
You know,
have today.
They have
is-
found
they
some
should-
old things.
They would
though,
know
I
by
mean,
now. They
Yes.
would know by now, and they just
That's the
keep.
mystery of
It's
it. They
almost
don't
like
know.
watch this, guys. It's almost like watching the Bigfoot series. You know, you just
no.
keep
I
waiting
didn't
and
do
waiting
this.
and waiting and waiting, and still nothing.
Hey, you could say the same thing about a lot of the ghost shows too. You're waiting and waiting for something, and it's,
Actually,
and it's oh. Did you hear that? Did you hear that knock? Oh, okay, that was a great show.
Moreover the Bigfoot thing, though, you are waiting and waiting, but they on Oak Island they have found some
Oh
stuff,
God. Okay.
You know,
What did they find?
they found like really old coins from the 1600s.
Oh, I thought you were saying Bigfoot.
No,
Yeah.
I know that's
Oak
where,
Island.
No, that's where Oak Island
Yeah,
has
they
one
have.
up
Actually,
on
I
Bigfoot.
it was really
They've
funny.
actually found something.
Yeah, it was really funny because I happened to turn that on, and I was so upset with it last year, and caught myself starting to watch it.
Yeah.
And my wife walked around. She goes, "Mm-hmm." I said, "Nope, I'm done. I'm not getting involved." But yeah, they did find.
They found the
Yeah,
ruby.
Yeah,
It
they
was
found the
super,
ruby
super
and
old.
the piece that was attached to
Yeah.
the ruby. So
And that lead cross was from like medieval times.
yeah, pretty interesting.
That's what-
Yeah.
Just laughing at this guy. 'Cause,
Pushing the bear with Bigfoot.
oh, and always Bigfoot. I gotta separate these two every time we talk about Bigfoot. 'Cause
That's why you guys don't sit next to each
Well,
other.
the thing is
Here we go.
the fact
Here
that
we
he's
go.
never even been out in the field to even search.
Them fighting
yeah,
words.
yeah.
It's easy to mock what you haven't gone out and done.
Yeah, Road, like I said, I'm with you, buddy, on that until Oklahoma. It changed.
I
I'm a
agree.
changed person
And I
before
agree
the
with you.
last time. I'm
He
talking about the
always says,
first
"I
time.
agree," but then he mocks it.
Yes.
Oh,
We
I
mock
like
what
to-
we didn't
I like
understand,
to
that's
poke
why.
the bear, you know. I do. I like to poke Jason,
No,
but
but-
you are right. I mean, I'll be the first one to say that
Yeah.
what I'd seen in Tahlequah
But
was
I
completely.
laughed it off completely the whole time before we went there, and the very first time, and ever since then, I was like, if the ever such thing as a Bigfoot, I'll say that place to change my mind.
I agree with you.
So
I agree with
I'm
you.
not saying it's right or wrong, because people mock what we do. You know, ghosts. Oh, sure, they exist. Blah blah blah. You know, ask any psychologist or scientist, and they'll say, oh,
Scientifically,
it's
you can't prove
they
it.
can be just described to them through whatever. You know, no ghost exists. It's whatever they want to describe it as, and it's like, well, okay.
Right.
Explain to me what I've been talking to. It's not the voices in my head. You know, it's kind of we've caught it on, recorders, videos, whatever piece we use. And I mean, yes, that equipment's not made. I mean, there's no really ghost hunting equipment that's really out there other than what's been modified. So is there possibility of contamination or, whatever? Maybe. But I can't explain why we've been in locations where we had people talking to us, calling our names that we never would have known us,
Right.
or the pastor giving us his full name. I mean,
Yeah.
So what is that? How do you explain that kind of thing? And we're not getting paid for it. We don't benefit from it. I mean,
I wish.
versus reality TV, which is what most of those ghost shows are. So, I mean, you kind of brought it up. You said on the Ghost of Shepherdstown, or the township as you called
Thanks for pointing that out.
it. You said that it took 10 seconds they were gone. That's 10 seconds of TV time that they formatted for that. How long were they really there? 5 days? 4 days?
No, actually,
hours?
they've been there for quite some
No.
time.
This
haven't
is
they?
like,
No,
no. I'm saying in that clip.
Oh yeah, in that
I mean,
clip,
it's
yeah.
designed, edited for TV for, hey, nothing's going on, 10 seconds, we're out, kind of a thing. But, I mean,
Right.
and how much of it was real, how much of it wasn't, I mean, we don't know. I can speculate all day. I mean, But I know from our past experience, we can kind of relate to it, and I think
Right.
you've seen it too. You know, I mean,
I like the part of it too that they got the the town involved where
Yeah.
they any people that were having issues and called it in.
right.
They
Call your
went
local
over
policeman?
and that was
Yeah.
kind of funny though. And,
Yeah.
all,
That was a little
Can you imagine calling Andover cops and going, "Hey, I'm hearing a baby cry in the basement. Let's call.
Well, go check on your baby, you idiot. He needs a diaper changed.
Let's call road trip."
Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, I'm just giving you shit for it because I mean I get it. I mean it's entertainment.
Something different.
I mean yeah, you gotta have a niche to be on TV. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys talked about your favorite shows. I watch them all, honestly. I mean, I don't not watch any ghost paranormal show or UFO show or Bigfoot show. I watch them everything I could possibly find out because I know it's entertainment, but it's still kind of cool. Because what if some of the stuff they capture is real? I mean,
Some of it's bound to be. I mean,
I think some of it, yes,
some
absolutely.
of it probably isn't 100% real, but maybe a majority of it isn't. I mean, because once again, like I tell everybody when we give those talks about the show, it's like you have an hour time slot you got to fill, and it has to have ratings behind it. If you're just
Right.
saying we're in this place, we didn't capture anything, next episode, no, that's not gonna fly.
Right.
Has to be like, did you hear that? Oh shit, run, kind of a thing, or whatever the case may be, or
But the thing
Yeah.
is in reality, people expect us to go into a room,
right,
and within the first 5 minutes, something happened.
right,
yeah.
What are you getting? What are you getting?
yeah,
Have you heard anything? Have you? What's your audio say?
yeah,
It's like, dude, we've been here for 10 minutes. Nothing's gonna happen. It doesn't work that way.
right,
But TV,
Even if it did happen, we probably couldn't tell you about it until
Right.
2 weeks from now, after we've had
Yeah.
a chance to listen to everything.
yeah. Analyze everything. It's not like you see on TV. I mean, it's an hour and you have everything. It's not CSI where they solve every crime, with
Right.
the help of some computer. I'll just do my magic work here, and
Right.
next thing you know, case solved.
Right.
If that's the case, we'd have utopia in a perfect world, kind of a thing. So, but
But yeah, it's the TV. I think has ruined it for a lot of people. The aspect of doing this for real,
right,
on the aspect of it takes time. It actually takes time to
Yeah.
actually do it.
right,
There's your own money, your own time, travel, but people don't concept that when they go into calling you and getting you in there to do stuff.
yeah. It's not a quick fix. Once again, it's
Yeah.
not made for TV.
I mean, we've gone up to calls where they wanted us to come out there and do it, and they wanted to have like all their families, relatives, aunt, uncles, and cousins out there to watch the whole thing. And it's like,
Right.
this isn't a show, people.
Yeah, well, we get a
Yeah.
party going on with barbecue.
Yeah, they were
we'll
going
get
to
all kinds of
barbecue. They were
stuff,
going to
like-
do all kinds of stuff.
yeah.
And it's like, we can't do that.
That's not what we're here for. If you have a legitimate cause, possibly want to make sure that we're taking care of your needs, trying to figure out what's going on. That way you can live comfortably in your home or in business
Right.
and not be too scared to go to work or
Right.
sleep at night. But okay, soapbox. Kick
My,
it.
my soapbox. Okay. Want me to get on my soapbox?
So, is there any of the shows out there right now that you guys find either more believable than the other one, or maybe it's just too okay? This is ridiculous.
Well, I can talk of the farce that's on TV now. I mean,
Please.
but
A lot of them become that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But go
I've
ahead.
got one in particular but you go ahead first.
you want to put the name of the show?
Yeah.
out?
I mean,
Yes.
All right.
Doesn't-
Priority Ghost Adventures. I mean,
Yeah.
these guys. I mean, everything they hit right now.
I still
demonic.
watch it, but
I
I
do
don't
too.
know
I
why.
watch it every
I
week.
mean,
I do watch
I
it
guess
because
because
of
I
the history
watched
of the
them all.
locations.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
beginning, they were really good. The first 3 or 4 seasons, they were
Right.
really good. But
Yeah, the documentary was phenomenal. It was, I think, genuine,
I love
and
that.
it was
I did watch
the one that
that.
started all the whole thing.
Yeah.
The spirit walking in the bar.
Yes,
Right.
Was
Was
it the
the-
old saloon or something like that?
it was something like that. It was is it out in Nevada?
But
Nevada?
they actually
Yeah.
caught
Gold
him
mine,
walking.
a little mining
It was
town.
awesome.
Yeah, I think it's Gold Mine. Is it called?
It was
I think,
awesome.
something like that.
Goldfield.
Goldfield. There you go.
Caught my attention. that's
And then
for
the
sure.
poltergeist in the basement where they actually technically, and then they ran
Oh.
and they separated because they got so freaked out and couldn't find each other. I
But
mean,
when
that
I-
was genuine. I believe.
When I watched that though, I started dying laughing when I
Yeah.
heard him screaming like that. I'm like, okay, that's what you're there for, and
Right.
you had a brick thrown. Okay,
Yeah,
most of us I think would have ducked and probably been like, oh shit.
let's run towards it.
But he
Right.
ran
Yeah.
and screamed, and the
Right.
scream kept going and going, and then the camera echoed out, and
Yeah.
He's still screaming, and
Yeah.
Casey, if you're watching this episode, I just want to throw out there, you're probably lucky that wasn't a brick when you first met us.
With the rock. Yeah, that's right. The rock throwing incident in the basement. Yeah, and
Can you imagine if it would have been a brick?
once again, it was a genuine reaction. He's like, "Fuck this!" I'm done." See, that's what he said. He walked out.
He left everybody in
Yeah.
the basement. I think they called me and said, "Hey, Casey's out by the sidewalk. Can you go over there?"
we need to get you
That's
guys
funny.
out there to Wilson.
Yeah, that's that place.
That's
It's
another.
pretty very active, and we always have some kind of reaction to whatever's going on there. It's a pretty fun place, and yeah. So, but some of those shows when they first started, you could see the rawness of it. I mean, the way they acted. I mean,
I still love Ghost Hunters.
yeah, the original
Jason
Ghost
Grant
Hunters
at
is
the
great.
very beginning.
Yeah,
when
those are
it-
my favorites.
Yeah.
Like the episode we played, well, not the episode, the clip from the Sharon Tate, the Charles Manson couple weeks ago. That was
Yeah.
from one of the earlier episodes.
What season was that?
I want to say it's like the second or third. I'll have to
I
look.
have that.
Yeah,
I
I'll
have
find
that on
out because
DVD.
you can tell because they didn't look as polished in the face. You know, I mean, they're not. You can see what money does to you. I mean, it cleans you up pretty quick and gets you. They didn't have the high tech equipment. It was
You
kind
get
of
in
a.
shape too.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you can tell the difference, but.
You grow
Yeah.
that perfect goatee,
We're all
shaved really well.
Yeah, perfect shape.
It's happening.
And just spills over.
The cars look a little fancier, more
Yeah.
high tech and everything like
It was
that.
back when they had just the. I don't know if they had the two SUVs.
No,
They
So
didn't
the
have- they
white
didn't-
van.
They had a
They
van.
still
Yeah, it was the
Yeah,
white
it
van
was a
with
white
the
van,
black tinted
yeah.
window on the
Yeah.
back that said taps.
Yeah.
That's what it was. That's how old it was.
Now they're in
Now they're-
GMC.
Yeah, they got, you can tell who
Denali's
sponsors it, GMC, and and they have their command center. They used to roll around. I don't know if they still do because they're not really doing much TV wise. They're still out doing the public events.
Yeah.
You'll see them every now and
Jason's
then.
been actually overseas, I think, doing.
He does a podcast. Him and another guy. Does
but
an
he's
actual
been
podcast,
doing
too.
it. He's overseas doing some kind of ghost hunt or whatever in haunted mansions and castles.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
stuff
cool.
Like that.
I
Yeah.
thought he was bringing something back, wasn't he?
He was
Or they
talking
were-
about it here a few weeks back on his.
Okay,
on
that's
his
what
Twitter.
I thought.
So I
I
think they're
hope
gonna,
so.
they're gonna do their own thing on maybe their own kind of network kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Versus going mainstream and not sci-fi or
Yep.
it would be something different.
Well, I hope
possibly.
so. I hope
I do
so.
too.
Nice.
Yeah, I know Grant's even does some things on the side, but he's not like full blown back in it because he's trying to live family life and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Plus he has a band, you know that?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
his
Yeah.
music. He does his music thing now. So, but the rest of them are out there just doing things. I mean, here and there you'll see them. Most of them, like I said, you'll see at events mostly. And they're probably getting paid pretty penny, just to get them in there.
Yeah.
So you won't see them at our events anytime soon. You never know though.
I'm working on it.
But is there any other shows that you can think of that are quite comical, or like I said,
Well-
closest? Nobody asked you.
Okay.
I'm kidding. Go ahead. You haven't had a chance to speak yet. Go ahead.
So because it's a group favorite right now, the one that makes me laugh is actually the Dead Files.
Dead Files, yeah.
Yeah. Only for the simple fact
Careful. I know what you're gonna say.
because we did one of the
I know. I
cases.
said be careful. prior to
Yes.
the show ever.
Prior to the show, we were actually at one of the locations that they filmed. It was on season 1, right? Season 1 or season 2?
Maybe.
But it was their second in Wichita.
Yeah.
It was their second one in Wichita. We actually went there. First night I ever met this guy.
Worst night of your life.
I had no idea he was going to be there. I was like, "Who's this guy?"
Yeah.
It's like, but actually, it was really cool, story, and the fact that I knew the owner.
Right.
I knew the owner. She didn't know I was going to be there, and I had no idea she was going to be the owner. I saw the name of the company, the building had her name as it was a salon. I walked in. She said my name. I looked at. I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" Never spoke to me again. But the stories that came out, typical haunting. They knew every story. They knew everything about what was going on. And all this, they told us the history of the past residents and the deaths that occurred in the house and beyond, and from away from the house, because there's a couple people that were living there that died in an accident. But we had a great time. I mean, it was kind of a interesting night.
Yeah. It was fun.
I didn't see a Grim Reaper, or I didn't see any devil thing crawling on the ceiling or anything like that. Or
We didn't go to the garage. I don't remember that.
he didn't let us
Yeah.
because he had antique cars
I
or
know.
motorcycles or something out there.
Yeah.
Wouldn't let us out there.
Right.
So we did a full night. Owners left us there. Supposedly windows were being busted out from the inside out. All this stuff. There's supposedly a portal downstairs that they were, all these amazing claims. But for the most part, we encountered we recorded voices.
Yeah.
There's dragging or something that.
That's what we talked about last week. The toys.
Yeah,
Trigger
the
object,
toy.
Yeah. The tank, whatever it was, or car.
And then we were standing upstairs. We're all talking up in the living room or in the main lobby of it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a house turned salon, and we heard dragging downstairs and all
Right.
this. But then, we collect all this evidence. We do our thing. We try to get back with them. No communication. They will not get back to us. Like, what was it? A year, 2 years later,
Yeah. About 2 years.
they're on the show.
TV.
They're on TV. And I watched it. It took me a little while to want to watch it, but I finally did. And reality to what makes a TV show, it just really hit me right then and there, because it was like, okay, TV really scripted this out and
Right.
tried to give the audience this. There's a Grim Reaper living out there. There was all this devilish stuff that was happening out there.
I never really a Grim Reaper. Really?
She actually said that. She said that. It's
On the show.
Yes, she did.
Mhm.
She said it. She
What
claims to see a
the
Grim
fuck?
Reaper type creature being there, and because he has the cloak and all that. I'm like, you are bullshit. Like, that's what I think right there. And it was really good. It got under my skin because we were there.
We know the story.
We know the
heard
story.
the claims.
And-
They told us the claims, but when they were presented with the claims to them on the show, they're like, had no idea that was here, kind of a thing, and
Yeah.
they got emotional. The thing
Yeah.
also that got me too is they are also part of a paranormal team. They are,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it, and they.
Yeah.
Amy
Okay.
Allen presented them with some information about her, how you might be, sensitive or an empath, like we talked about earlier,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And she's like, "Oh my god!" And just the tears and the emotional it's beautiful for TV, but
Yeah.
it's,
But see, then again,
It is what it is.
she was telling her something on TV. You're an empath. You have this feeling. You have this power.
right.
Again, calling somebody that they have a power, they have a gift. What if we all do, like you said?
I love gifts.
I know. I
Still.
love gifts too. You know?
So do you think that may have a reason why they didn't get back with you?
No,
that
'cause this is-
sometime
this is
after
years
that?
This
after.
is 2 years later.
At least
so-
2 years
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
That was 2011, I think, when I went with her. And
2010.
So did you ever hear how they
2010. 2010.
got a hold of them? How the story even got?
No,
I mean,
you
how
can-
does a story
you
like
can
that
put-
get
well,
to somebody like Dead Files?
you can put your stories out there because they came to Wichita prior to that, months before that, and, or maybe they shot them separate or together. Who knows? But
You
they
can pitch your team
Yeah.
and your stories too.
right.
Networks.
Yep.
Write in. Say, hey, we've got this. We got an amazing group. We got this story. We got a case. We got a location.
Yeah.
You know.
Because there's buildings we know in Wichita that are way more haunted than that building possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, the Forum Theater being one of them. The Orpheum.
Had we done that, had we,
Cowtown. I mean, we know those are all haunted.
well, yeah. I don't know if I want to go there because we wouldn't be the team that was.
Yeah. No, I'm not
Don't give
saying.
a shit.
I'm not saying for us. I'm talking about for TV shows like the Dead Files that come in. I mean, those are all places notorious. I mean, the whole West to church, and I mean that's right up their alley. But
Right.
the fact they chose this one, to me, says that they presented it to them. Obviously,
From what I heard, it was the guy that was part of their paranormal team that they were a part of that was pitching the idea of that.
surprised he
being
didn't throw
so
his face
haunted.
on there.
Well, I mean,
Anyway.
I think he was trying to be the creator, producer type of his own paranormal
Mm-hmm.
team / show. He wanted to do the same thing. Well, how do
Right.
you do that? You get these two who own a house that has some activity in it and try to make it more than what it is.
Right.
Right. No, I mean I get it, but
I know.
I think I know I knew you were gonna say that when you started talking.
I
That's why I
just-
was like, careful.
It's just it has
Yeah.
bugged me, and then I've watched, And I'm not saying anything negative
you're
about
not.
her or the police officer, retired police officer on the show.
Right,
I
right.
liked him. I follow him on
Follow
Twitter,
her.
I think I do too.
Mhm.
But then I start listening to all the shows. Like, it's almost like, I don't know. They start having the same kind of storyline.
All
to
the
it.
same writers.
And it's the
Yeah.
same thing,
Right.
you
Well,
know.
they're
She
writing so
sees
much
it
stuff.
crawling on the ceiling and all
Right.
this stuff.
Yeah.
Like at who's the chick that chopped up her mom and dad?
Lizzie Borden.
Lizzie Borden.
Board.
Yeah, she saw a creature crawling on the ceiling and stuff like that. It was
Right.
like a
A
different
dark
version
mash,
of her
yeah.
crawling on the
Yeah.
ceiling and stuff. I'm like, really? Really? Okay.
That's funny.
I know. It's just, I hear it and I'm like, it's great for entertainment, but that is it entertainment?
Right.
It is what it
Is it
though.
just entertainment, or are they actually capturing something for real?
Well, one thing they don't. I'm sorry, I didn't step on your
Does she
toes.
sell herself as a psychic?
Yeah.
I can't recall.
She's the medium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, psychic medium. What I was gonna say is one thing they don't ever present is evidence. I mean, they don't come in and say we caught this EVP. They
That's
don't
true.
do this. They
They
come
don't.
in. We have this sketch. They try to match their stories together.
Right. But it's just
But you don't know
them.
if they're pre.
But then you have the writer on the side going, "Oh, I like that. We should do that next time." You know?
That's the thing that really gets me is at the end of some of the episodes, if the people are going to stay, she tells them who they need to find, and it'll be like some 5th generation wizard of some sort.
Right.
He's never heard of.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm sitting there thinking, how are these people going to find somebody? Like, I've never even heard of that. And then the little words come on at the end. It's like,
Yeah.
they haven't found that person. The activity continues.
Yeah.
You're like, if you're going to tell them you need this kind of person, wouldn't you have like a contact form or...
Yeah.
Maybe-
Or I brought this person in to talk to you. Who is
Right.
a fifth? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. And
She'll
yeah.
call it something new, and I have never heard. I mean, I'm sure it exists in some sort of manner, but
Yeah.
never heard of whatever that is.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna go Mountain Monsters. You
Oh.
just haven't really watched it yet, have you?
That's another one. Okay.
Okay, before we jump into that, I will say that they do have legitimate,
Yes, I do.
what do we call them? Cryptozoology, I mean, beasts or whatever that are known out there.
Yeah.
Urban
Cryptids.
legends. Yeah, cryptids, I guess is the word we're looking for. Myths, they're out there, urban legends, they follow those, but then when you see what they present or show, this is in Heartland. Anyway, when they show it,
We've got our own here, regardless of what Ruff says and thinks.
he's the cryptic. Actually, that one is Bigfoot behind the camera. But anyways, no, what I was gonna say was they do approach that angle. I mean, there's some urban legend folklore that they try to.
Right,
But then it gets comical. So.
Which the show? Have you guys seen it? Mountain Monsters.
I've watched a couple of them, yeah.
No. Okay. So you have.
What do you do, Jake?
What?
What do you watch?
Wheel of
Wheel of
Fortune.
It's,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
hard to
that's
say.
right, okay.
It's hard to say because I don't have cable. So
Ah.
whatever I watch is just going through the internet and finding it and
Okay.
watching
Oh, cool.
it, or whatever's on Netflix.
Yeah.
His own research.
So
Like
Yeah.
him?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
I haven't followed a paranormal show in years.
Except for Cryptic Heartland, right?
Well, yeah, but I
epi-
don't have a choice for that
Oh,
one.
you have a choice.
What episode are you on?
Cryptic Heartland. That's funny. Nice. Okay. Oh, Jason, Mountain Monsters. What do you think? I mean, have you watched enough of the episodes? I've seen them all.
I've seen some. I've seen it, especially when it first began.
Yeah.
So is it just all focused around Bigfoot?
It's
or
no.
They
They
started
go,
kind of out that way, a
Kind of.
little bit.
They're going after mountain monsters. It like either Wolfman.
Well, they
big
gave them
dogs,
some. They gave them some
Bigfoot,
clever names because it's set out in the Appalachian Mountains.
Dogman or something.
So with that
Appalachia.
being said, picture the guys that are doing this. You know,
Oh, yeah.
you're bearded. Nothing to get beards. We all have beards. Well, those that can grow them.
This about
That's what
wow.
I said. Those that can grow them have beards. No, they're the big. They're the typical, burly men that with shotgun in hand, the bucket hat.
Suspenders.
Yeah, exactly. Suspenders.
There's one
Your
guy.
typical
There's
backwards.
one guy who's just freaking huge. He's running around in the woods with his shotgun.
Yeah, they're hunters.
Startled and
Yeah.
anything and everything, but yet they're hunters in the big woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and then you got the elder one who looks like right out of Duck Dynasty.
There's like 4 of them now like that.
Does it?
Not
Is it?
more than that. Yeah.
You know, and
Majority of them do. Yeah.
so Brendan and I, we got together one day
Mhm.
a few years ago when it first started.
Right.
And I honestly didn't think it was going to last. We watched a couple
seasons in,
episodes into it. And what they had this whole idea. They were going to trap the supposed Sasquatch that was out there.
Right.
So they dug a hole and they put
Mm-hmm.
spikes and everything down in there.
Right.
Okay.
Stick that thing, yeah.
So then they were going to cover it, and then they were going to just draw it in and kill it, basically. Just whatever they could. Just not dig a hole. You know, that would have been suffice. But they put spikes in it and everything. And one of the actual team members almost killed himself because he almost ran into it himself. Because he was running, he heard something and he starts to run and he's like, oh, and he's almost falling into it. And I'm like, and with shotgun in hand, you know, it's like, you guys are so stupid. And it's just
That's called
ridiculous.
natural selection.
Yeah.
I mean, the stuff they come up with, they have every episode they have a trap they're going to try to capture whatever said beast is going to be, and it's I'm like,
There's
this-
paranormal
Is
show
it like a
that
box
once.
propped up with
really?
a stick?
Oh, you're talking about Ghost Asylum?
Piece of meat
Yeah,
underneath
Yeah.
it?
yeah.
No, these are I'm talking about out in the wilderness, with the woods or whatever. You got these big. One had a bunch of bamboo things that were in a big cage that drops from the air, and they test it out on each other, of course, and it's kind of fun to watch. but I mean, it's your typical backwoods kind of hillbilly out there running with shotguns, like Jason was trying to describe. And but the monsters they come up with, some of them I've never really heard of, like the Kentucky bluegrass. A lizard, something or other. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what the hell? I mean, I don't know them all, but we know enough to where I'm like, what the hell is that?
And probably just a local legend.
Sheep
Yeah.
squatch, have you heard of that one?
Sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah, sheep squatch is when they try to capture.
What?
Yeah, half sheep, Bigfoot, with
What?
horns and everything. Yeah, and this thing rams they're out there with side by side, you know, the ATVs, and they're out there roaming through the woods, and this thing supposedly rams it, and there's a hole in the windshield. And I'm serious. I mean, yeah, that's where it gets the comical side of
Do you
things.
think their insurance covers that?
But
Deep squash damage?
yep, I've told Jason. Jason, I had to what? You're saying? I'm sorry. I don't want to keep going.
So Sasquatch and a sheep are out there mating?
Why not?
Well, I mean,
Why
I know hillbillies have done that, but you know,
Why
Yeah, it
not?
says why not?
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, you're in the Appalachian Mountains. What else are you gonna
Not that.
Sasquatch is lonely too.
I'm gonna have to look that episode up.
do? Yeah.
Yeah, you gonna tell Bigfoot no?
They've been showing marathons on Destination America all weekends. I've been watching them again because they're fun. They're fun to watch because I'm just like, oh god. But like I said, the contraptions they build are cool because it's just makes me wonder. I want to know what they do. Leave them out there afterwards. Can we go see these things? Can we go?
Right.
Because the contraptions probably they're huge. I mean, they're not your typical, boxing, pull the stick out. It's these big monstrosities, and they're fun to. They're made out of metal. I mean, there's
Oh, wow.
like cattle pins and stuff, kind of a thing, and just they're intense. But the guys that build it, one of them was just his name is Wild Bill, so that gives you a clue. And the guys out there, whoa, yeah, come on, bitch, we're gonna do this and that, and it's like, oh shit, dude.
Well, like the end
Dial
of
it down.
the announcements at the end of a NASCAR race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even worse, double that times 30 maybe, and that's what you got. The guys, and they're supposedly they're military, ex-marines and stuff. So, but they're just good old boys, what they are, man. It's fun to
Can we
watch.
verify the status of that?
Appalachian militia, I don't know, man.
Have they caught anything yet?
No.
Well,
Well,
They seen
I don't
Sheep's
know.
Watch once.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Right,
random.
right in the window.
Well, I've talked with Jason about one series of episodes from that show that kind of piqued my interest even more so. They were out looking for Bigfoot, and okay, so Bigfoot, and we kind of know, except for Rose, knows possibly it's out there. And don't worry, I'm here all night. So, but while they're doing this, they come across some Indian things also too, and they also come across a woman in the woods, which, knowing the history we had and what we experienced down in Tahlequah, it kind of
Right.
piqued my interest more. I'm like, holy shit! Everything they were saying is something that I experienced personally. So I'm like, well, and it took me back. I was just like, holy crap! I had to do it like a step back, and think, what, is this shit real? I mean, because I know what we saw down there, what we experienced, the evidence we collected over the years down there, and I had my run in with a woman down there. Hell, you saw a woman your first day there.
Hmm. Yeah.
I mean, and full color.
Yeah.
We've seen the Bigfoot down there. We've seen. They also had, what was it? I tied into it. I don't remember if it was not really demonic, but kind of because of the Indian background, it had we talked about last week about the magic, the Indian magic that their own personal magic they have on the curse of the land and stuff
Right.
like that. So
embedded out there with it.
I mean, a lot of it was just like, holy crap. I mean, it was a little too close to home for my comfort, but I mean, it was interesting. It made me, like I said, it took me back to that moment down in Tahlequah when we first went down there in 2012.
So what they caught, was it convincing to you?
Well, that's just it. That's the end of season 2, and season 3 hasn't happened yet. So I need to know what they're gonna do. They supposedly caught it on this woman. I know he's behind me. I'm ignoring him. They supposedly caught this woman. I mean, they showed the footage of it on a thermal image. This thing comes up to them and like, but it could be anybody. It could be a woman that they hired for
Made
set.
for cliffhanger.
Because they show her,
Right.
the woman of the woods, and they're having the big guy with the falls down. Like you say, he has a stare down. He's staring at her at the end of the season. It's like and then she's gone, which doesn't mean anything. It's movie magic. Yeah, I know. That's where it gets a little bit, comical.
Yeah.
But there's more behind the story behind that. They have these guys that supposedly put them up to looking for this thing to capture the woman of the woods and all this stuff.
Oh,
So,
seriously?
But yeah, it's called the Rogue Team. So that's where it gets too much scripted.
Rogue Team?
Rogue, yes.
Rogue.
So it gets scripted.
So
You tell.
Rogue 2? Rogue 3?
Maybe.
Rogue,
Last
not,
Jedi. You
not
never
Rogue
know.
1, they died.
That's true.
But-
Rogue 2. But no, I'm just saying it was the topic more of anything that kind of I've told you about it, and
Yeah.
like I said, it played with my mind for a little bit, just because, like I said, what we went through down there and what we still kind of go through down from that place, the lingering effects that has affected, Callahan. I don't know about Jeremiah, if he had any kind of lingering effects from Tahlequah.
Not particularly.
None that you're aware of, maybe.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about, just some of the weird occurrences we can't explain in our lives that have, after we came back from Tahlequah, some of the random illnesses maybe, or just things that to this day it's still kind of going. And that's been
Yeah.
since 2012. So.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but it was. Doesn't bring, not to bring the show down, but I'm just saying, that part of the show was intrigued me. I mean, as far as plus they said they do look for some of the urban legends and myths.
Well, I like that. That's why I started watching the show. Is
Mhm.
the fact that they had the myths and legends, the
Mm-hmm.
werewolves or dogmen or whatever, and they're
Right.
searching for that. I still can't get past the sheep squatch. I can't.
Well, the
get
thing
past
that really is weird is there's once again good old boys out there that they go to their farm and stuff, kind of like what you and Brendan did, with the
Yeah.
guy in the Bigfoot.
Yeah.
They have these guys supposedly have videos of these things, and to me it looks CGI. It's bad CGI video. So that's where I'm like, once again, taking back into it's reality TV, and it's not maybe possibly real, but because they have these big hunking things over, looking in the woods, and you can see them. Like maybe I've seen about 3 or 4 of their videos that they've played during the episodes.
Is that the thing that I've seen on like the video night vision? It looks like a goat man type.
Probably.
No.
I don't
That's
know.
Chupacabra.
Don't get me started on that.
Okay, what about Chupacabra? Now you're talking about it. What about it? You don't believe in him? You
Oh
think-
no,
you
no,
think
no.
it's a mange dog? Is that what you think? Mange?
No.
I'm asking.
From where it was originally spotted down, what is it, Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
Their description of the Chupacabra to
Right.
what YouTube and everybody has down in Texas.
Right.
Texas has a manged animal,
Right.
A dog or
Or a
something.
wolf
That's
or-
a
Just
coyote
walking
or
along
something.
Coyote town.
It's manged, for
Well,
God's sake.
everywhere.
Look
Yeah.
at it compared to a dog. I worked in the vet field.
Yeah.
I've seen that before. I've helped treat that before.
Right.
And
Yeah.
out in Puerto Rico, they see a creature that's almost my size, and it's scaly. It's walking on 2 legs.
How
and
big is that?
I said
Sorry.
almost.
Oh, so it's taller than you.
It's about 3 or 4 feet high.
So it's taller than you. Don't,
Hey,
don't give
hey,
me numbers,
no,
'cause
no.
you're just making it worse on yourself.
Hey, I go places I don't have to duck. You guys have to duck and
Then
hit
dodge.
yourself.
He does have a point with that.
Yeah, that's true. Dodge in the theater.
Dodge City, you guys have to duck. I just walk.
But I can reach the top shelf.
And that's why I have you.
Very true. Okay, all right. Anyways.
That's why when I go squatching with Brendan, you know, he's always, well, for one, I can't keep up with him. 2, he's walking through all the cobwebs and the branches and
Yeah.
stuff, but
He's clearing
my
the
bad
path.
thing is that, you know, the big guys will move in front and push the branches, and then I get whipped in the face. Back, so.
That's funny.
But no, the chupacabra, you know, they say it's about anywhere between 3 to 4 feet high.
Mm-hmm.
It walks on 2 legs. It's scaly. It has red eyes, and it
Right.
has fangs and claws and all this. Then you have the mange dog on TV, and everyone's like, Texas has it. We have solved the chupacabra.
Right.
I'm like, no, you didn't. That's a dog, people. Come on.
Right.
So yeah. So again,
seen it.
bullshit.
Oh, I've seen some on YouTube. Yeah, they look like
The
sick
police,
dogs.
the police car chasing
Somewhere
after the.
I brought that one.
I'll see if I can
Yeah.
find a picture of it to
I have
pull
the
up
yeah,
here.
there you go.
I had the video of it when we played on one
he's gonna
episode
bring it
about
up.
It just
launches
looks
across
squirrely.
America.
Yeah.
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 Looks
Now it
squirrely.
does. It does have a like a elongated snout or whatever, but I've seen dogs that have that.
Right.
Well, I mean, okay, so you take a dog that's not normally hairless and you know,
Yeah.
mange it up and all of
Yeah.
its hair falls out and it looks weird. Even its head looks weird because
Yeah.
you don't have all the fur making it fatter, so it looks longer and skinnier.
right.
Yeah,
Case-
but that
case
video
in
does
point-
look odd, though.
Case in
you know.
point, there's
Yeah,
photographs
like
of
Yeah.
these teenagers that found a what they were calling out. It was an alien or some kind of creature dead on the riverbank.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, remember
I
that? It
saw
has
that
like
too.
the weird claws and
Yeah.
everything. It's hairless.
Yeah.
It
The,
looks.
the Montauk Monster?
I can't remember
I'm
what
trying to
it
remember
was
what it's
at,
called too.
but it turned out to be a sloth. It was a hairless
Yeah,
sloth.
that's right. Albino hairless sloth or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
And it does.
Yeah.
You take all of its
Oh, yeah, it's
hair off.
creepy
It's
looking.
like, you know, just like people.
Yeah.
You take their clothes up, they look a little funny.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some people just need to keep their hair clothes on.
Look at
But-
a skinned bear sometime, man. It's frightening.
Skinned bear, yeah, manged, or yeah, it looks horrible.
So what
It looks
about-
like a creature?
What about with the chupacabra? There's animals that have been supposedly mutilated and they have the 2, puncture marks.
That's
in
that's the
that's the other
that's the claim.
caveat to it.
That's the claim that they find all their
That's their livestock.
their
or
livestock.
Sheep or whatever.
Yeah, their chicken, their sheep, their
sheep,
cows,
squatch.
all with puncture wounds, bled out.
Yes.
But they don't see the blood like everywhere else, so it's almost like something either sucked it out or it was drained out somewhere else. And
Right.
the body was put, and they've seen the actual creature along the side of the road, out in their yard, out in the field. So they've seen this,
Right.
and it was never anything that has been shown out in Texas or in the museum of that one. That's
Right.
bright blue eyes. Looks like
Mm-hmm.
looks like it's an actor dog. Like
Yeah.
got the bright blue eyes and all pretty, but with no hair.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
What
I
about
just
what
don't
about that angle? Anybody have any idea or?
Well, it's another name for the same animal. It's the what do they call it? I was just reading it. The Texas Blue Dog.
Oh, you're talking about for the blue eyes? You're talking
Yeah.
about? Or what about the bloodsuckers too, though? Is that
Yeah,
all the same?
Yeah,
Oh, so
yeah. It's that they call it the Texas Blue Dog. Well, I mean, I don't know. I could be completely butting in on something I need to shut up on, but I
Someone's not
was
listening.
reading a. I heard you say something about blue eyes.
Oh, that's why. No, we were saying also that the chupacabra, they've been kind of, you hear stories tied in with them where they've been known to supposedly attack the livestock or, farm animals where they find 2 punctured wounds in the neck and they bleed them out, but there's no blood trails. I mean, it looks like cow mutilations at times where the sides
Right.
ripped out and stuff, and it always seems to be tied in sometimes with chupacabra in those areas.
Or should it be UFOs?
They don't exist.
I'll get this pulled up here, and you guys will see
The
what I'm
Ghost of
talking about.
Shepherdstown, they had cow mutilations on that too.
Yeah,
they
they
really
did.
did.
Yeah,
They
they
did.
did. Yep.
Removed their heads.
Yeah.
Had part of their spine still hanging out. Yeah, body was gone. That was kind of odd. Yeah. Then at the end of it, they said it was coyotes.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah. I don't
But
remember that part.
I don't know how it'd take 1,000-pound cow, but yeah, it's kind of weird.
I mean, it's
That's
possible.
a lot to eat.
Well, we
Yeah.
talked about it before too. Think about when you go, if you ever been out hunting or even anywhere in the forest and the woods. You know, animals die all the time, and
Yeah.
there's animals
You don't
that
really
eat.
see it.
Well, I mean, they eat them. You know, whatever,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
clean it, whatever it is. You don't ever see much of it in remains, or if you do, maybe it's just the skeletal remains or something.
You don't ever see a bear just laying there.
Yeah.
You don't ever see
exactly,
a moose or
Yeah,
anything
or
like
Bigfoot
that.
out there dead, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a picture up right now of this Texas blue dog or chupacabra, Texas chupacabra. So it'll pop up on your screen here in a minute.
Oh, that's where it looks like Ruth. Oh, that's still Ruth. There it is.
See, it's got the blue eyes,
Oh,
and
that's
that's
a mangy dog for
that's-
sure.
Yeah, it's a mange
Yeah.
Well,
dog.
I mean, even around here, a couple years ago, all the coyotes had mange, and they had it for a couple years.
Yeah.
It cycles through them. I mean, in nature,
But
all over
according-
the place, it cycles through.
But they're trying to really pick it like, oh, look at the arched back. It looks like it could stand up on two legs. It could do this. It could do that. No, it's a dog.
You're just not used to seeing it with no hair.
Right.
Exactly.
Yep.
It looks completely
But
different.
people have gotten
And
on
from a
TV.
distance.
They've gotten on documentaries and TV shows, and they present this evidence, and
Mhm.
they've got the people who have captured the body and the bones and all this. So,
Right.
well, we're taking the bones for analysis. Okay.
Well,
Well,
then when
it
they
comes
get-
back as dog.
Yeah.
When they get mange too, they're sick, so they don't act right either.
Yeah.
Right,
They don't
right,
act
right.
Rabies
They don't
kinda,
feel
yeah.
good. They don't feel good
Yeah.
at all.
Yep.
So yeah, they're gonna act very strange.
Hmm.
But I don't know. It's
Right.
just
There may be a chupacabra out there, but that's not.
thank you.
That's
Yeah.
not.
Thank you.
Yep.
But yeah, it bugs me with how TV is just totally
Mm-hmm.
gets everybody all wound up with fake stories, fake news.
Fake news.
Fake
Right.
news.
Well, we talked about last week too, or even past. What about Slender Man? I mean, that's was a known made-up story
Mhm.
off of creepypasta,
hmm
but it was enough to where there's videos of it, which is obviously easily.
Well, yeah, I mean, hell, it got into such a craze that you had people committing crimes over it. I mean, that
Yeah.
one.
There's a movie coming up of that.
Is there?
Yeah.
The one gal that her and her was
Yeah,
it?
two girls.
Had a sleepover and
Yeah, and then sacrificed
kill
a
her.
friend or something
They
to
stabbed
Slender
her
Man.
13 times, I think.
left
Yeah.
her for
And
dead.
she left.
Yep,
She lived.
yeah.
Wow.
And because supposedly Slender Man told her if she didn't, they would kill, or he would kill their whole family basically, all everybody he loved.
That's fucked up.
So I mean,
So what voices were they hearing?
The ones in here.
yeah,
They
Well-
weren't on enough meds. That's for damn sure.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I watched the documentary, and I watched the documentary on HBO, and it was interesting. But one of the girls, the one that did the actual act, she was a little off kilter. You could
Yeah.
tell. I mean, she for a young girl.
Let me ask these two. Do you think if a story is told enough and enough people start to believe in that story, that it can start to manifest and actually become real?
That's a good point. Good question.
Like suggestion actually makes it
Kind of.
manifest over time.
Like
Okay.
you project it, maybe even, or kind of like we talked about in the past with Jason and Grant.
Yeah.
I
Their
mean,
story.
Because Jason and Grant had a case. It was in their book. But, the idea I also got from Supernatural.
Well,
They had, but,
Okay.
but like Slender Man,
well,
if enough people talk about it.
along that line, when we were at the bridge the other night,
Uh-huh.
people have talked about that story for a long time.
Right.
It may have been the night, because it's never guaranteed, but there wasn't a lot of action going on out there. But it seemed what little evidence we did pick up through communication was male.
Right.
So, maybe an area would have residual or any sort of activity anyway, and then the folklore in the area might bring it out and make people notice it more than normally would.
Right. But you don't think that an exact story can actually make that thing manifest itself, like Slender Man, say.
No, I think
I know that's really going out there, but
play on people's minds more than anything else.
what do you think?
Well, as far as the supernatural, the paranormal, I mean, a haunting, some, they say demons or dark entities can take form of children or something. You say your house is haunted by a child you've been dealing with for years. That I hear a child crying in the house, and you got new kids that moved into the house, and they attach it to the kid attached to their children. Demons, dark entities have attached to it. I mean, it's kind of sort of the same way, but I don't know. As far as going with the Slender Man or the Moth.
Well, I was just giving that as an
Yeah.
example,
Yeah.
because I mean, some people actually think that they're hearing a voice. I mean, these girls thought they were actually hearing a voice.
Right.
Because it was probably, they believed in it so much, they were telling themselves so many times that did it actually happen?
Yeah.
You know,
I think
is
probably-
it manifesting to them, or is there a possibility that there's a dark entity that is actually hearing or thinking hearing what they're thinking or saying, possibly manifesting into something in that form?
And Bloody Mary, another one. It's a folklore.
Right.
But people have died from Bloody Mary because they believe in it so much that their mind just turns on them.
Right.
So, yeah.
Which is the same thing with the Slender Man. Those
Right.
girls believed it so
Yeah.
much that they killed their friend.
Well, attempted to. She
Oh,
ended
yeah.
up living,
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And that's probably not the first person that had that kind of reaction. There's all kinds of videos out there on YouTube if you look for them, or the internet for that matter, that shows all the Slender Man. We played one time that looked fake. I mean, for what it was worth, but it also looked kind of convincing. The one they bought with the car, remember, and the car actually stops.
Back in the field
Yeah, that one.
when it's walking along.
Yeah, and the boy actually was riding his bike.
He set up a camera just to, he was trying out for some, the backstory was he was filming himself trying to get, times. Like he was racing, by
Right.
himself, trying to get his time up and things like that.
Right.
So he had a stationary camera out on this long road. Well, he didn't even notice that up back on the hill supposedly was this big tall figure walking, but there's a car in the background that slows down and it actually stops. And they're like, it looks, probably seeing it for its own eyes.
Yeah, it looked like
Allegedly.
It was,
But, I mean, it's so easy for, hey Jason, I'm going to ride my bike down here, you go get your car, meet me over here, and then, we time it out to right, and we later on put that figure in. So it's easy to fake that, but it was still pretty interesting. We watched it a million times on the show, not many
yeah,
times.
it was
couple times.
really fun. It was really fun. It was a cool one. I mean,
Yeah,
That was
but could it be all
You seen
staged?
it?
Sure,
of course,
sure.
yeah, like anything.
I mean, the
seen
car
it?
was a
No, I
great
have not.
setup for it.
Probably something.
The car was a great setup for it. It was, we could play it here in the second half of the show
Yeah,
too.
I'll get it sent to
Too
Jeremiah.
many things.
So
Okay.
I'll get it sent to you.
It just seemed like it was set up for it.
Well,
you
that's
know.
what you get with a lot of things.
You're right, but then it's like it's so easy to say
'Cause
that on
it's-
everything.
I mean,
Yeah.
look at the video that was streaming there for a while on the internet with that oversees the school.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You know,
Uh-huh.
we all saw that. We all were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's awesome!" But at the same time, that's so
Yeah.
easy to fake.
Right.
Yeah.
That was straight out of
It was
Paranormal
almost
Activity.
just over the top, man.
Yeah.
It just-
You start with the door. You start with over here, and then it goes to here, to
Yeah.
here, to here, and then off camera. So it just kind of like went down like a chain of events.
Well, and actually, in one of the videos where the boxes fall off that shelf up there,
Mm-hmm.
you can actually catch the hands.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
shit.
Oh no, shoot!
So I
Oh,
didn't-
really?
I didn't see
Yeah.
that. I'll have to look
It's-
at that again.
Back up behind the window,
Yes.
and yeah.
Ah, that's
So,
probably why. It's
what
off.
hands do you think
Okay.
it's like staged hands
Yeah,
or
somebody
is it
pushed it.
apparent- I was just curious
Yeah,
when you said
yeah,
hands, so
yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Ah, but it,
I believed it for a minute.
that door still got me though.
Yeah.
That door still got me when it's
Which
shut,
is-
and I wasn't like ready for that.
It is loud, yeah.
Yeah, it's very loud.
I mean, it's easy to do with fish wire. I mean, just
But you see all that, and it hits all the mainstream media, and
Right.
it just
Yeah.
people watch it, they go nuts with it, and then you find out it's fake,
Yeah.
and then it's like, okay, that makes it harder on us to actually go out and do what we have to
Sure.
do.
Right.
Exactly, it does.
well, and then going with that note, I was going to say that that people, the first time you go in the house, they want to see, would you capture any video evidence ever? It's always the first question
Oh,
when
yeah.
they come back for the reveal. It's like, no. And you can see just the
Yeah.
dejection. Well, it's like, there's multiple reasons we can't capture things on video. A, the camera has to be pointing in the right direction at the right time
Right.
to even capture anything.
Right.
And just because we see it or experience it with our eyes doesn't mean it's going to capture in the right light spectrum.
Right.
I mean, there's different. We film in different. We film in infrared. We film in full spectrum. There's how many light spectrums are there on the actual spectrum? There's so many that we can't.
Well, the
capture them all.
electromagnetic scale, I mean,
Yeah,
goes all the way
exactly.
from, I mean, radio waves to
Right.
microwaves and beyond.
Yeah.
You know.
And then in between, you got those little layers.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just,
and
it's-
the visible light spectrum falls somewhere in the middle of all
Mhm.
that, and it's
I mean, it's just stupid luck sometimes. You happen to, like the thing in the Raptors,
Mhm.
that was just what you were told at the time by
Right.
a medium to look at that, point your camera that direction, and it was just stupid luck. I mean,
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean,
Well, actually, I mean, it was just stupid luck that the medium was actually filming that, and he
Exactly.
knew where to point the camera.
Exactly, yeah.
Hoping for the best.
Right.
Probably
you know.
one of the best pieces I've ever seen.
Yeah, definitely. And then just a couple other things, it's just luck. I
Mhm.
mean,
All right.
I'm gonna wind it down for
Yeah.
a break right quick.
Yep.
Everyone out there watching, just right quick while we're taking this break, take a minute and hit like and share and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. Whatever you can do on whatever platform you're following us on, and we're going to take just a few minutes and we will be right back.
There he goes.
All
Okay.
right. On that.
Yes,
note,
we did get that on camera.
American Idol be calling.
He used to be all worried about what was live and what he did. You know, I'll still never forget when we I filmed you live on Facebook. Putting the battery to your mouth, to your tongue. Not only once, but twice. You zapped yourself. You know?
I forgot about that.
Oh, that was awesome. That was
Too
awesome.
funny. Yep.
They're like, this thing's dead.
Nope.
It was just being put in raw.
I'll always be sure.
That's why we couldn't
But-
do it.
Gotta lick it.
While we're back, don't forget to like and share our page. That's my 2 cents right there.
And subscribe to the channel. Don't
There
forget.
you
Yes.
go. Okay.
I was waiting for you to finish.
Nope, that's all.
All
I
you
had.
got?
That's all I had. Right there.
All right.
If you subscribe to us on YouTube and set your notifications, you don't ever have to worry about catching the show again. Your YouTube will notify you right on the phone. So,
Don't have to worry about watching us ever again. Is that what you're trying to say?
yes, that's exactly what I was saying.
That's how it came out. That's why
And don't forget to call in. We need some callers.
That's
tonight.
right.
Yes.
Get some callers.
316-200-9066.
All right. Go ahead and take off with it.
All right, so we were talking about the TV shows and the difference between reality and what people see on TV, and we've known this for ourselves how the difference is between it. Because we've actually had the opportunity to film a few times.
Mm-hmm.
On intention for TV, and we actually have done even in the news with Darren and KSN.
Right.
You know, and the fact that let's just take the news segment for instance. You know, we go to a location, we are hoping and praying that something's actually going to happen. You know, because we're going to have this on TV. And we want it to happen, but at the same time, in the back of my head, I'm like, there's not going to be a damn thing that happens all night. And this is, we're not going to have anything to share or offer. Luckily we did. But, you have that fear of, okay, it's not going to happen. It's not going to work. But it's difficult to prepare yourself on one way or the other, because, you could tell the history of a place, you can entertain the camera as much as you can with equipment, but people want to hear stuff, they want to see stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't just bring it out. It just can't happen. Luckily, we went somewhere that was actually, fully on, had paranormal activity in there.
Well, and
So
I
it's
think
good.
too, over the years, with the experience, especially a few of you here, it's, I think that helps a lot with it because you know exactly where to start and what to look for and what to ask for, and I think that helps a lot as well. That's what I've noticed over the years being with you guys is, how things have changed for us as well, watching everybody in the group. But yeah, you're right. It does. It gets in the back of my head times, when you go into a place, you just, you've got the customer or the client, just, you're praying to God that something happens, especially when we go do all of our, our stuff at Wilson and Dodge, and all you can do is pray to God that it's going to come out and talk to us.
Well, and the difference between, us doing it, like the night with KSN, we just let it roll.
Right.
Whatever we did, we did.
And that was
There-
a place that none of us had been in,
Right.
Right.
except
And-
for you. I think don't you? Have you been in there?
Oh, I'd only been in there to get my hair cut.
Okay.
That's
Was it
about
that location or was it a different location?
Both. I've been
Oh,
there.
okay.
I've been there
I
before.
thought it was just the older one.
Yeah, I've been there before.
Gotcha.
I don't think I go.
But
get my hair
it's
cut
been
at a
years.
salon, but
Well, I knew the owners for a long
Okay.
time.
Gets his nails done. And
Yeah.
The Manny Petty.
He was the one sitting in the chair.
Brazilian wax, what did you say?
Brazilian? What?
But the thing that I think made me laugh about that is the fact you said, I've been there a couple of times and I had no idea that there was even reported hauntings there. I mean, you
Yeah.
didn't know until we just stumbled upon it, basically.
Right. Yeah. It was. I was actually doing a internet search on just local hauntings and stuff, and I saw that it was had stories there. It was actually in the Eagle. And
Oh,
all
really?
it was on the Eagle's webpage.
Oh, cool.
Everything from a previous story
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. And I was like, well, hell, I know the owners. So I just happened to like my mom was actually there getting her hair cut that day. So I text her, say, hey, can you ask her? You know, because we were looking for a site for the news story.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of like a dire emergency for TV. We needed to have a location right away. So they're like, oh yeah. So I was like, really? I mean, given the location, it was in Delano of Kansas. You know, of Wichita, of Kansas.
Well, it is
in
Kansas, but
of Delano, they're the oldest part of Wichita, right there.
Right.
So it had a lot of history to it. So I
Right.
thought it's gold mine. It's got to work. It's got to happen, right?
And it performed.
Yeah.
But
Had great results.
the other part of the factor is the fact of we've also done filming for possible TV show.
Right.
We had that opportunity, and there's a difference between doing an investigation and having something happen and then somebody say, cut, let's do that again.
Right.
That's when you're like, what? I can't just make that happen again, you know? And then it's having to act and go, okay, well, what did I do? Or last time, you know, did I jump? Did I scream? Did I do something? What did I do? So you got to go back. That's what we had to do. So we actually got to see that whole other aspect of filming when it comes to all
Right.
of this.
Right.
And it blew me away on how different. I'll just say it different. It
Well,
was.
when we were filming down in Tahlequah,
Yeah.
you know, all of that, everything that we did down there got reduced down into what, a 4-minute pilot? 4 days
Yeah.
worth of investigating? 4 days and what was it, 3 nights? I don't remember.
Something like that, yeah.
The
Yeah.
3 nights and 4
We
days
went
worth
Thursday
of
through Sundays we went.
worth of investigating down there got reduced down into like
A few minutes.
a
Just-
4-minute pilot or something like that. It was
4-minute
crazy.
trailer. It wasn't even a pilot. It was just trailer footage.
Right.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're having to pick just little tidbits to give the public.
Mhm.
Hoping that you caught something on
Yeah.
top of that, you know,
Yeah.
that's the hard part.
Well, and not only, you know, what was amazing to me on that was because I know I was with Jason on one time where we experienced a part where something had happened and we were, you know, told to redo it. Do you remember that? What part?
Oh
I'm talking
yeah,
about?
oh yeah.
But what got me was something would happen, like when we were on the catwalk,
Uh-huh.
and all of a sudden, you know, our blood, we're ready to keep going with it, and they're like, "Oh, I'm good." You know, something could happen, and they're cut, and you're going,
Yeah, there's something going on
and you're
over
going,
Right.
here.
Let's go.
You
And
need
they're
to be
done.
filming this.
Yeah, you
They're-
need-
they're
and
like,
done.
yeah, we
they
got
got
it.
what they wanted,
Yep.
and they're done.
Yeah.
And you
then
gotta
they turn
walk
around.
away. You gotta walk away.
I never will forget at that cemetery down there that one night. Leo about lost his cookies with a person that we were working with down there.
Yeah, I don't come unglued very easily, but after so much, it's just, if you're gonna see that side of me, it's ran its course. So I let my feelings be known. I mean, I'm not afraid to talk out, but it's just you gotta have it under
But
control.
you usually
Right,
just
yeah.
don't. I mean,
I mean,
I
I
don't
don't
think
see a
I've ever
need
seen
to.
you do that in years.
Yeah,
You know,
it wasn't
No,
happening.
yeah, no. I mean, but I mean, it was just kind of okay. And granted, okay, so we're brand new to all this. You
Yeah.
know, we didn't really have any clue what to expect or anything like that. But the whole camera rig was set up over in a completely different part of the cemetery just to give you guys at home an idea of what was going on. And Leo and was it you and Leo or
Renee
you and
was,
Renee?
I think Jason was coming up to get us.
Yeah.
Leo and Renee were having a lot of activity going on over in this one part of the cemetery that was known to be very active.
Right.
And the guy that was doing the filming said, "We need y'all to get over here and film." And Leo said, "Well, get your ass over here and film, because I mean, we got shit going on.
I'll never forget that because I was standing on the outside leaning up against the gate, and you just see this producer over here in the corner, like, you know, and Leo's just letting him have it. It's over here. You come over here. It was awesome.
Yeah, I lost my
But it's all the headaches of production
There ain't
and
shit
whatnot.
happening
It
over
just
here. It's over here.
Yeah.
and that really, I mean, I think that right there highlights as well as anything the truth of
Right.
the reality of what we do versus the TV version of what we do. Because I mean, just like I said in the subtitle tonight, what you see is not what you get.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
You know,
Exactly.
when you're talking about the TV shows and the filming.
Right.
You know, it's all branded out for entertainment. There has to be entertaining, or they don't have a job.
Yep.
You know,
Very true.
and that's understandable, but it can be
Well,
really frustrating.
And I think we all found out very quickly we're not actors.
Mm.
So,
Nah.
you know.
Right?
It was difficult to actually, you know, get excited over a balloon that was on the ground that's
Right.
been in the room for 14 years. But, you know, it's like, it's a balloon. Okay? Even though there's stuff happening around us, but I think we failed in getting that opportunity to show what we could do.
Yeah.
So-
Well,
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know that I consider that particular thing a failure.
No,
It was just-
it had its great moments, but I feel like in the end result, it was like a lost opportunity.
Eh,
Not on our
possibly,
part, but
possibly,
yeah,
yeah.
it was-
Well,
it-
yeah, there we go. I think. Well, there was a lot more to the story, and
Yeah.
we won't go into that
Yeah.
because
Right.
I don't particularly want to get sued. But
Right. But at the same
Be
time,
quiet.
we lived it. We were part of it. You know, it was
Mhm.
our part of our life. You know, we
Yeah.
don't have a contract saying we can't say it or
Right.
talk about it. So,
Right.
you know what it is what it is. So.
I still have that email. I don't think I'll ever delete it.
what were you gonna say? You started to go a direction with that as far as you were gonna ask them something. I thought.
Yeah, it was. So, how do you guys feel about what we've done so far? You went to. So I know you've actually only been part like at the live event. You know, we did the public investigation. So, what's your thoughts on that so far?
Well, I mean, the public investigation I was part of, I thought it went really well.
Did you like it?
Oh yeah, I mean,
You guys both been. You've each been to two of them so far. The public
They went to
investigations.
Dodge.
They've been to Dodge, and also
I've
went
been
to Eldridge.
And Eldridge,
Yeah,
yes,
Eldridge.
and went to Eldridge.
but I mean, okay, yeah, I mean, there was obviously more activity in one than the other. I mean, but
Yeah.
it's
Oh.
a lot. It's a lot like fishing, you know.
Yeah.
You're gonna go and you're gonna try, and you might be successful, and you might not be.
Eldridge was very different.
Yeah, I don't think it was the activity per se. I think it was just the atmosphere.
The atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't closed off. We didn't have control. Or we
Right.
didn't have any of
Wasn't
that. So
intimate enough.
Yeah.
So have you been on other tours with other groups?
Yes, I've been on one. I've been on the Ellenwood Underground tour,
I wanted to go do that.
which was all right.
Very short.
It was short.
Yeah.
It was.
I don't think the guy who runs that investigation or that ghost tour likes me too much, so I have to stay away from there.
It's
so.
me. I don't like him.
Well, I don't care for him for the things
No,
that
I know.
has said about us, but
Oh.
yeah.
Neither here nor there.
A little bit of a bad blood, which I didn't know I was stepping on his toes when we took Wilson.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Guys,
that.
we didn't take Wilson.
No, we
Wilson came
Wilson.
to us.
Yeah, Wilson.
Wilson
Wilson
came to
asked
us.
us to come
Wilson
and
came
do
to
it.
us. We didn't take Wilson from him.
So yeah, if the dude is watching or ever watches this, we didn't do that. They asked us. But yeah, so there's always that bad blood out there. That's
Yeah.
You're gonna have that with
yeah,
other teams.
unfortunately.
Getting jealous of each other. And that's what I think. That's what I like to. I think model ourselves after. Is we try not to be that team that says, "Oh, you know, this is our territory. How dare you?" Or we've been
Right.
on places where we had other teams come to our public investigations or whatever.
Yeah.
We're like,
Dodge,
"Come on
I
down."
was there.
Yeah,
There
you
was-
see it.
there was a
You guys
guy
both saw
from-
it.
Yeah.
It's like, come on down. I would love to work with you guys, branch out, network. I mean, we're all hopefully doing this for the same reasons. And
Well, that's one of the reasons I like you guys over, you know, some of the other people I've interacted with is you know, they might be all right during the tour or whatever, but when it's over, they don't really want
Yeah.
to talk to you or anything. You know, you might want to
Right.
stand off to the side and talk about an experience you've had or something. And
Shoot, we could talk about this stuff all day long.
Oh yeah.
We do. That's why we started a podcast, because we love talking about it.
First time I was on the bus tour.
Yep, I
and,
still remember that night.
Oh,
Yeah.
we stood there for what, an hour after it was over
Yep.
in the parking lot? Just
You, me, and your wife,
talking,
yeah.
So,
Poor Paul and Michelle, they hung out. they always wait. If I'm out, you know, talking with somebody, they always wait forever
No,
in
we
the
stood there-
car or something like
we
that.
stood there forever talking.
Yep. Sounds about
But
right.
yeah, it's the public events are, you know, something. I don't know how we got into doing so many or doing that, but it's turned out very well.
Right.
I love the meeting of the people and talking to people, and shoot, it just branches out so much.
It's
with
more
that.
personable. I
It
mean,
is.
Right.
you know, I've been to other events that, you know, again, like Jake says, they do the event, and then once the event's done, the people are to the side, the wayside. We're packing up, we're gone. Have a good
Yeah.
evening.
Yeah.
Your team, I mean, it's just, you're there for a reason. You want to sit there and give people the experience and show them.
Try to.
You know, exactly. Let them use the tools. Let them learn. Let them
Right.
see what it takes to, you know, it's not a TV show anymore. This is reality. This
Yeah.
is how you find. I mean, you may go 4 hours without seeing anything, but that 15 seconds that you catch that one glimpse, I mean, it just, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so.
No, well, it came. I think it just came up in the last couple of weeks. You know, we've had people actually leave tours over 15 or 20 seconds of way too much
Too much.
activity.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Over at Nest
Nest
City.
Yeah. Public investigation. We talked about like
Yeah.
last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was.
Last weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah. I mean, and
That's
it
another
was-
place I'd like to take you guys to see.
Yeah.
That place, Nest City, is
Nest
a
and Wilson,
fantastic
yeah.
place.
They're fun. And
Oberlin?
Oberlin. Yeah. Yeah.
Oberlin?
Seen Oberlin yet. Those are
July
fun
27.
Yeah.
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 Got it marked on calendar?
places.
Calendar?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll say yes.
Okay. It's gonna be a
We got a yes,
2-night.
man.
We got a 2-night event down there or up there. Shoot, 4.5.
Call 5. Might as well.
Got any video for
I'm trying to get it.
him? Okay.
Yep. It's uploading. Sorry.
Okay. But yeah, we what is it? We're gonna do a Friday and Saturday event out in Oberlin. And again, you guys are gonna be thrown
I'm
into
just gonna start this.
how many buildings? There's 15 buildings
Right.
I think
altogether. When we only got
12. Did we
into
get 12?
12.
12.
Just because a couple of them are too small and not really anything going on. They got too much stuff in there.
Right.
But yeah, so you're gonna it's breaking down having your own team, and there's an old church, there's a small little depot that has an extreme amount of activity inside. It's always a depot. It's always like a train station, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much
Doctor's
there. It's
office.
all a museum, so it's all like right there. So you guys, it's gonna be a lot of fun to see. I mean, that compared to a hotel, what is completely different.
Right.
I mean, you got all these artifacts. You got all this stuff from the old west to, you know, modern stuff.
You'll catch
that's in
yourself
there.
sightseeing more than you will. Oh, I'm
Oh,
here
I
for the Ghost
do.
Adventure.
Oh,
That's
I
right.
do.
You know,
Yeah.
there's the big gun display. There's my favorite thing is the military display.
Oh
with
yeah.
All the
Yeah.
I like the squirrels that were getting married.
oh.
You remember that? That was awesome.
Yeah,
Is
the-
that weird or
The,
what?
the
I mean,
squirrels
the
were
squir-
actually the first object ever given to the museum.
Wow.
Was the
That's
squirrels
right.
in a
Yeah,
tuxedo and a wedding dress and married. Yeah.
Real.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. But I mean, and in that room they have all the snakes and the heads
Oh,
and
yeah.
and stuff like that of snakes with their mouth open.
And real live wasps too.
Yes.
Yeah. How about the jail?
The wasp
just
Hey.
around the jail.
Yeah, and the
That's
old
pretty
jail.
intense.
Yeah, that's one of the other. It's just a old shack of a jail, but they have stuff that happens out there. So it's. And is it different for a large group instead of just having us do it? Yeah, of course. I mean, you guys have been out there too. You know, like the shot. You know, last
Yeah.
night. Dodge City when we were all by ourselves, you know, for the first night. It's a lot different than it is with you got 20, 30 people running around, which, you know, can bring its own, you know.
Yeah.
I think some of the people that come to these events actually have, they have their own way of bringing it out too. So that's why it's a lot of fun, because you never know who you're going to be stuck with, because we just kind of randomly pick people and boom, you're stuck with them for the rest of the night. So it's a lot of fun that way.
I like that time we were when you said you had all the investigators line up and just told everybody to get behind.
Yeah, it worked out over.
That was
pretty cool.
Charlene.
I think I had the most, didn't I? I think everybody.
Yeah, that was Charlene who set that up. We're not talking to you.
Your group was the one that left first.
No, that
though.
was. I think
Yeah,
that was
they all
Michelle.
quit.
That was Michelle.
So I don't want to hear
That
it.
was not mine.
You know. Anyways,
I had people actually wanting to come onto my group. I mean, we were walking it out.
I actually was nervous. I didn't realize I had a couple of board members
That's
on my
right,
group,
you
and I'm
did.
like, oh crap, here I'm just doing my thing, being me. And I'm like, oh shit, that was a board member, wasn't it? Oops. But they left entertained, so they had a good night, and they saw stuff that was natural, that was there, that we didn't stage any of it,
Yeah.
So
That's kind of like, to me, it's kind of like having our own show too. I mean, it's not being filmed on the aspect of anyone going to see it but us, but
right.
it's a lot of fun, and you get that front and center stage, and you get to do it the way you want to, the way we want to, and
Right.
And to be honest, when I love the aspect of giving everybody an opportunity to use the equipment or run the show themselves, is because by the time we're done setting up, I'm really tired.
That's why you do it.
I'm really tired after
Yeah.
that,
Well, it's a long day. We get
Yeah.
there plenty early, have everything most of the time set up early and functioning. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
And it's just it is a
Well,
long day.
and the fact that we've been in some of those locations, I like to hear what other people might come up with.
Yeah.
The questions you guys might have, the equipment you guys had bring, and everything like that.
Definitely.
I mean, I've never seen it. You can get the flashlight to work every time.
Nice.
Well, yeah.
There in Dodge, you got that to work, and then
Yeah.
at the night at the bridge.
But the thing about Dodge was it was a big enough place that when you broke down into groups, everybody had a different experience in parts of it. Like we were in the theater, and it was insane in there. I mean, we had all kinds of stuff going on. But when you guys were in the theater, there wasn't hardly anything going on.
Yeah, we had to pull out the bat signal.
But then some people on the stairs had a ton of activity. But when our group was on the stairs, nothing happened on the stairs.
Yeah.
And so, and we had a little activity in the basement. It was kind of fun, and then we had a little bit in the dressing room area and stuff. But some of the other groups had most of their activity in the places we didn't have much.
Right.
So even in the same spot, everybody's experience was different. So
Right. I think. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I really enjoy
I don't
that
care.
one person, and there's always that one that something's attached to them. And I'll go with Wilson one time because Wilson's kind of interesting because you're in the hallway and you got a room here and like a room over here, and you have to split people up. So you got some people in a room and a hallway lined up waiting to rotate. And I had this lady that we were in the room where the sheriff actually supposedly hung himself, and she said it
Not
had
supposedly.
so it had attached himself to her.
No.
But here's the thing, people come to these events and they want to have fun, they want to enjoy themselves, and I remember she freaked out.
Yeah, she was scared.
And
Didn't
I
want to.
opened that door and I said, everybody up against the wall. She's got somebody attached to her. And she's like, ah! And she runs down the hallway. And I'm like, it's all right, people. Leo, Jason, I need some help.
That's so bad.
I don't know. I love the groups. It's fun. It's really like it.
Well, we actually had the medium out there in Eldridge still. We had the colorful gentleman that caught us in by the elevator. He just got back from
Oh.
Deadwood.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's right.
Oh man, yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Dan and I got caught with this guy who was just staying at the hotel, and he
Right.
was, oh man, he was 3 sheets to the wind.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how much he'd had to drink, but man, he was telling us his last story, events of his trip down to Tombstone, and
Tombstone
Oh,
and
that.
Deadwood.
Oh wow! Is that the guy that showed up down in the basement and just hung out with us?
I have no idea.
No.
And was the
It was a
real
different guy.
different guy?
It was an older guy.
Wow.
Yep.
There's always
yeah,
some
go ahead.
goofballs.
Yeah, you know, the media was telling us about, well, you know, when we went down to the basement talking, yeah, there's a gentleman here that's got somebody attached to him from Deadwood, and he's up at the bar, you know. So she actually went up and talked to the guy and got him up to his room and talked to him. But yeah, that was crazy.
That's awesome. I remember that. Lena's actually going to be in Dodge this coming
Yes.
up, so she's
Oh,
going to be
Oh,
there.
really?
Yeah. Sorry, Roth.
That's awesome.
Roth can't go.
Oh, really?
That's awesome.
Roth
Yeah, I
can't go.
make it. Gosh. dang.
He's going to be playing golf.
Nice.
I have no sympathy for that.
I wish I was playing golf.
But so yeah.
She's fun.
So what's your what's your guys' thoughts on mediums?
I've been introduced to a few of them. Some, I mean, are spot on. I mean, Lynn Point. I mean,
Yeah.
she's impressed me tenfold. But I've met a few that are
There's a lot more claimers out there than ones that are legit, I think.
I know. I think Lena's impressed a lot of us. So.
yeah. I mean, I think every person has some type of psychic ability.
That's what I said last.
That's what he said.
Yep.
You know, and Lena can attest to it. I mean, if you tone it and train it and work it, you can pull some of that out. I mean, not everybody's going to have the skill set that those guys do, but
Right.
some do. I mean, you can, and there's stuff that you can. I mean, yeah.
So I think in Rose's case, his problem is he's not psychic, he's psycho. So that's different. So just one vowel over, but
One of
you
these
know.
days you'll be glad I'm around.
Yeah, he's trying to do his own thing. So.
Maybe I need to go spend a month with her and get trained or something.
Okay, Obi-Wan, chill.
But-
Yoda.
The problem,
Yeah.
is,
Floating.
Roth is always getting lost.
This is true.
He's always
This
getting
is
lost
true.
somewhere. I don't know how many times I lost him in Dodge.
I think it equates. Have you ever seen that old movie, The Men That Stare at Goats?
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God, it's been forever. Yes.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that's rough.
Goat
We
squash.
have guests.
Goat squash.
Oh, too funny.
Yeah, I've been up to Dodge once, and you gave me the tour one time, and I had the lay of the land. I mean, I can walk around that place and probably, I won't be lost.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he got lost on me.
I'm always lost.
Yeah. But it's easy to do with the camera though, because you're staring down at the camera,
Yeah,
and
of
then
course,
you look up and the room's like darker, and you're like, "Oh crap, where the hell am I?" Because you're trained on that camera, and then you look up and everyone's gone. And you're like, "Oh, damn it!"
Yep.
You know.
Happened quite a few
Yeah.
times that night.
I apologize, but everyone just kept following me into the room,
Yeah.
and then I hear you in the hallway going, "Jason, Jason."
Yeah, well, Jason would go, we're going to try something new. We're going to try something new. I need you to stay right here. Yeah, it's dark. Okay. I'm looking in the camera. 20 minutes go by. I'm like, where are they at? Jason. They're gone. They're gone.
Well, it played out for you well once
Yeah.
when you got lost in that top hallway on the second floor.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You got,
Yeah.
got some good video.
Yeah, I got some really good video.
That
Yeah.
was actually, I like that.
Next time we'll get you a bell so we know where you're at all. We'll call her.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I'm gonna do that.
I think we should.
That's awesome. Especially if we ever go back out to Tahlequah, so we know where he's at in the
Oh,
woods somewhere.
jeez.
Follow the dinging.
It's not a good place to get lost.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We don't go too deep in the woods, right?
No.
You're the
no.
one that- yeah.
I'm the guy that,
Yeah.
you know, that that stays at campsite,
Yeah,
making
yeah.
sure all the electrical's
But
good.
you miss half the adventure though by
cameras.
not going out. That's where we see most of the. You gotta explore a little bit. I'm not an outdoors person, like I've said many times, and
Yeah.
I'm out there crawling and and climbing barbed wire fences and not getting ticks like some of us.
I always get
See, that's
ticks.
what bothers me
He's
is
got
getting all the
me.
ticks out
Yeah.
there. I just
Yeah.
don't want to be
Yeah.
part of it.
We're getting closer to the end of the show here, so we talked about the Slenderman video. We're gonna play here in just a second. I think Jeremiah's firing it up here.
I've not seen
I
it.
won't
If
put-
you're ready for me to.
anytime you're ready. I won't put the audio on because I don't want it to feed over into.
PC.
I'll do that.
Mostly.
Okay. Are you ready?
Anytime, sir.
How you doing,
You
Leo?
getting comfortable?
Yes, I am.
Cool. Right on.
You can-
I can see.
Brighten this up.
I can see that.
I turned it down because people complain about the. Yeah.
Okay, hang on.
It's not, we're not live.
Something happened.
Back to
Why
you,
didn't
Bob.
it play?
Alright, that was a little.
Why didn't the video
I got
play?
my arm around you for nothing.
That's cool.
Oh, that's why it didn't play.
He
Okay.
didn't push play. That's cool.
Me and Leo's on a roll.
Should just play the one I had.
Good stuff.
What's that?
Does your pet have ticks in it?
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was at first. And it's big Sasquatches. Yeah.
Okay, this is the video.
Yeah.
So you see this guy back here walking. This guy's riding the bottom. You can see him.
I see there's a car that comes and stops off in the distance.
Whoa!
We have a TV app we can watch from. And I didn't bring it in because I don't think we had video today.
It says faceless, but yeah,
Good
I
stuff.
I don't think you could.
See right there.
Kind of stops and looks and then.
But he's like gliding on wheels or something. It's like a guy on stilts. Is what it looks like.
Still smash.
Yeah. Yeah. You can definitely fake that with somebody on stilts in the background and just doing that.
But allegedly this guy's oblivious to this whole thing going on. There's a car coming down. Actually, it's going to stop. Within distance of it. He just happened to be filming, so there was a car.
Whoa!
Yeah.
He just kind of turned over
Yeah,
to the
why
car
does
and
he
shut the
keep
car.
doing that?
Good stuff.
He's gonna stop and turn.
But it's just, he's kind of gliding in a way that it just doesn't.
Well, even the way his shadow and his legs interact down lower with the debris and the grass and whatnot, and the shadows. Doesn't look like the grass
The original, this is the actual shot that he recorded. He zoomed in because he noticed it after the fact. It wasn't the fact that he was trying to know. Then I zoomed
See
in.
here, this is the part that gets me is like, why is he doing?
Whoa!
Or, you know, driving.
He's racing and
He's-
stuff with his bike.
Okay.
So he's trying to
He
get
wanted the
more
road.
of the road. Because the whole video shows
Good
him
stuff.
coming flying in on his bike, like speeding real fast, and he's like, man, yeah. He's talking about his adventure as far as, okay, I did it this time and this time, whatever, in this amount of time. Supposedly unbeknownst to what's happening behind him. This
Could
is-
just be the clown
Oh, it's
that
just
left the
repeating, that's
circus.
why.
So it stops twice.
Yeah, I didn't realize it had to repeat. That's why we keep watching it over and over. My bad.
Oh, I had it on.
Get on loop.
I had
also.
it on loop.
So,
It's easier that way.
yeah. You ready to bring it back? Let me know, Jeremiah.
I already did.
Oh, we're live?
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So that's the video we talked about earlier with Slender Man. I mean, can that be easily faked and made? Of course. I mean, I could do it here and just right now, sitting with
Stilts.
us. Yeah, well, I wouldn't get on stilts. I'd just get on your back, your shoulders,
That'll work too.
your 3-foot shoulders. But I'm saying that with CGI, and you can get any kind of movie. I mean, I have it on my computer, but I don't. The only thing I use it for is to make our own videos, like cut them up and make them smaller and put graphics on it.
Mhm.
I don't go in and add anything as far
Right.
as I don't put. The ghost behind us the whole time. We didn't ever
Right.
caught before. How convenient. No, our stuff is 100% real. We don't ever
Right.
fake anything, as far as you know. Just kidding. Just kidding. So, okay. So what else? We got about 13 minutes left in the
All
show.
right. What, have
I've got
anything else
I've
then?
got also Chupacabra video.
Oh yeah, that one I.
Yeah. You
And
want to show that?
it says MIB. I don't know if that one will play though. I
That
don't.
was Men in
I don't-
Black.
Men in Black video?
Yeah.
I don't know.
can-
Yeah, I don't know if that one will play in the format I got it in, but
It's not
we can
MP4.
try it.
Okay. I'll play the Chupacabra while we're waiting. Yeah, it should.
Rotate with me so you can see it, or can you see
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm gonna play him.
I'm seeing it, but I don't believe it. It's in the daytime.
I've been
It's a-
patrolling these
it's a
back
police
roads
dash
for
cam. This-
a long time, and
this-
I've never run across anything like this until that day.
Last Friday, hours before sunset,
Yeah.
Corporal Brandon Riedel and his partner were checking fence lines near Cuero when they
say
stumbled
it's
across the
elongated
alleged
or
creature of the
whatever,
night.
We came around a corner and saw this running down the road.
Riedel says it's hairless with a long snout,
But-
short front legs, and long back legs.
You know,
It's
okay.
just strange.
So,
Yeah, I mean
Seeing it,
they've
but I
got
don't
this.
believe it. It's in the
They've got this
daytime.
police
I've been
officer
patrolling these back
sitting
roads
there
for a
critiquing
long
this
time, and
thing
I've
or
never
giving
run
his
across
input
anything
on
like
it.
this until that day.
Last
Yeah,
Friday,
I
hours
don't
before
know which way
sunset,
the guy
Corporal
was
Brandon
going
Riedel
with
and
it,
his
but
partner were checking fence
I'm
lines
sorry,
near
the
Cuero when they
cop's
stumbled
not a-
across the
a
alleged
cop's an
creature of the night.
Yeah.
We came around
Expert
a
in law
corner
enforcement, they're
and
not
saw
an expert
this
in,
running down the road.
yeah,
Riedel
they're
says
not-
it's
they're-
hairless with
yeah,
a
they're
long
not
snout,
zoology or
short
anything
front
like
legs,
that.
and
They're
long
not
back
doing
legs.
it. So,
It's just strange.
call it,
I'm
it's
seeing
not what
it,
people
but I
ever
don't
report with the
believe it. It's in
Chupacabra.
the
That's the
daytime.
whole
I've been patrolling these back
It's like-
roads for
it's not-
a long time, and I've never run across anything like this until that day.
Last Friday, hours before sunset, Corporal Brandon.
It's walking through the town.
I sent it to you. It's that one that's like walking on its four legs and people are following it.
Yeah,
and,
walking.
and there's other dogs chasing it.
Right across the neighborhood, I've seen.
Oh, that guy. That was a person, wasn't it though?
Yeah, it was
I
like a
think
person.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
person.
I think
See
so.
if they
Wasn't it?
Which
Or-
we found out it was because they have some kind of disease, or if the people do, or that they were. I don't remember because their whole family does it.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah, there's a family
Have
like
you
4 or
seen
5
it,
people
Jason?
where they're
I'm
all-
sure if
I
you
don't
saw
think-
it.
yeah, I mean,
Because
yeah.
I sent it over to you on.
It's a person.
Facebook.
It's an actual person. Yeah, it's just they've walked on their hands and knees all their life, and they can't. They don't know how to stand upright and walk.
Okay.
So it's some kind of disease. I can't remember what it is.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yep, it was a long time ago. He sent it to us.
Yeah, it's
Huh.
really
Yep.
creepy.
Yeah, it is weird because where the angle of the camera is, it's further away, so you can't
Mhm.
see.
Yeah. You would
Is that a
be
dog?
like, what
Is
in
that
the
a-
world is that?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yep. Cool.
So, yeah, we're back live now.
Okay.
So, sorry.
I didn't, no, I didn't know either 'cause since we're delayed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I let it loop through twice, I think.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. It's just videos like that irritate me.
yeah. I mean, there's no.
It's like the Blob Squatch, and everybody who's out running around in their suits, and they have to perfectly film it just right, and they get the camera just in time to see the creature step into the woods.
Right.
It's like you have this perfect camera, but you just now turn it on. But what are you doing? Why did you bring it in the first place?
Right. Yeah.
One of my favorite videos that I love to argue about is as there's a figure up on the mountains, and there's a group of kids, and the team leaders are out there. We're out there camping and stuff. They
Is it the
supposedly
one where
left.
it's running across?
No,
the
it's
slope?
not running. It's just walking along the edge. You see it on the top of the mountain, and then all of a sudden it starts throwing its arms up in the air. They're all like, "Oh," because they found what looks like a structure down on there.
Oh.
And they come up on its structure, and they're like, "Oh, there he is. He's up there. Oh, he's pissed that we're down here in his home." And everything like that, and they're panning it around to like show the structure and this, all these wood structure all bent over, and it's like a little, I don't know, nest or whatever.
Right.
And it's up there. You see it like flinging its arms up in the air and getting mad. Supposedly, it's real tiny. The figure is, but what they failed to not film was the fact when they panned over to look at the twigs and stuff like that, there's orange ties there because they frickin' set it up themselves.
Wow.
You know, and I'm like, you guys suck. You know, you're just faking it. So you got somebody, one of your people in your group up there on top of the mountain saying it's Bigfoot, and it's like, once again, everyone's like, oh, they filmed an angry Bigfoot and they found this. Watch it a little further.
Like, really?
You'll see the orange ties holding the structure together to the tree.
Right.
It's like, you suck. I don't know.
Do we want to give the MIB one shot?
If you want to.
We can try it.
I'm not gonna play ours, but I don't think you can.
Okay, here we go.
We did it.
And nope, it's not gonna play.
No. Shit.
Wait a minute, let me try it one more time.
I wonder if I reset it.
Different setting. Oh yeah, there it goes.
Okay.
Oh.
Sovar reported that the witnesses described the men as tall with black suits, black hats, identical faces, extremely pale skin, no eyebrows, no eyelashes, and abnormally large eyes. A woman who spoke with the men claimed that she felt that the men knew what she was thinking. Is this video proof that the MIB exist? Or is this video simply an internet hoax?
I'm letting it loop through twice.
What's your thoughts on the MIB?
Sovar reported that the witnesses described the men as tall with black suits, black hats, identical faces, extremely pale skin, no eyebrows, no eyelashes, and abnormally large eyes.
Interesting video.
A woman who spoke with the men claimed that she felt that the men knew what she was thinking. Is this video proof that the MIB exists?
First off, they fit the classic description of the MIB.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're very. Of course, you can't really see their faces,
right.
but just their posture and their manner while they're walking makes them look like they're very serious. They're very imposing. They're not necessarily threatening, but at the same time, kind of intimidating. Yeah, you know. They just people that report being in the presence of men in black say you just can't get comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, around them because there's something about them they're just not right.
Yeah.
Well, in the briefcases, who has briefcases anymore? Most of your business people.
They didn't have briefcases.
You know, have I think one of them's carrying a briefcase.
Oh, I didn't see anything.
I don't remember either.
I don't know.
We talked about that on the earlier episode, the whole thing behind the Men in Black, and it's usually supposedly after an alien reported encounter that these guys show up out of nowhere. Like you said, you were describing them a little different looking, and I mean, based upon the video, supposedly this is more recent years. I don't remember the exact year, but maybe as late as the 90s and 2000, whatever.
Right.
But you can tell by the years, the dress, they're kind of in
1940s.
Yes, attire. And I want to say even the vehicle they show up in supposedly is kind
an
of like
older vehicle, yeah.
You'll see.
Yeah.
So it just fits a weird mystique behind it, you know, that what are these guys doing here and why they show up? Because we reported something.
Well, and you got the stories of the black-eyed children or mysterious children that show up to people's homes.
Same time, yeah.
They want in your house, and people let them in, and then all of a sudden there comes a car that pulls up outside, and it's men dressed in suits and hats, and the children say, "Okay, we got to go home now." They go out there to the car and they leave.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
See, I still need to watch
Netflix.
that. I still need to watch that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the stories that's been out there, and I actually met somebody recently who had no idea of the stories or connections, and actually had something similar to that happen.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, came up to his house and wanted in, and he refused to let these two strange girls into his house that were dressed in, he said, like weird uniform, like schoolgirl type thing, but not really Catholic. But they just looked. They didn't fit well with their surroundings and everything, with what's going today.
He didn't even know that.
He didn't even know the story of
the black-eyed children were a thing, did he?
Yeah, and he said, I don't remember anything strange about their eyes, but it was a while back. He said he just remembers they came to his door and just wanted inside. Can we come in? Can we come in? our parents aren't home, and they're just nonchalant, but just very. They just wanted to come in. We need to use your phone.
Yeah,
Use your bathroom.
Don't use the phone, utilities.
You need to use the bathroom.
Yep.
And then one of them went and sat in his car. Yeah, we like your car. Take us for a ride.
Sovar
She
reported
went
that the
and sat in there, and he
witnesses
had to,
described the
actually
men
go out
as
there
tall
and
with
get her
black
out.
suits, black
And
hats,
then he gets
identical
back in the
faces,
house and everything,
extremely
shuts the
pale
door, and he
skin,
says, like,
no
he
eyebrows,
doesn't even
no
remember
eyelashes, and abnormally large eyes.
And he
A
doesn't,
woman
and he
who spoke
doesn't
with
even
the men
remember
claimed
where
that
they
she
went. He's just like looking out there to see where, because they were just right there. And he's like, they're going.
Right.
He said it's strange, very strange.
Children always spook me.
Yeah.
You were a child once, you know that.
That's why, hearing the giggling I heard up in Nest City kind of left me frozen there for a little bit.
Well, it's worse when you're doing evidence review and you're sitting there listening, all of a sudden you hear a child's voice come through, and you're like, holy because there's
Right.
no kids there. For
Yeah.
the most part, most of our public investigations are adult-based, and, you hear this kid coming through, or even if it's just us in an investigation, you hear a kid come through.
I had an experience with one of the investigations we did down in Anthony before we moved the team to Wichita. At a little place, just a little boutique store called Country at Heart, and we caught the voice of it. It sounded like just like a little girl crying for her mama.
Yeah.
Mama, and just very upset, very distraught, and it was, so much to the point that the shop owner, when we showed her the evidence, the shop owner, who had heard this in person before, was brought to tears by the recordings we caught.
Right.
It was. Children are just. That should be off limits anyway, but
Right. Well, I told the story last week about Granola when we were getting shoved at that time, and we're kind of the whole chaos of things are happening, and you hear that voice come up from behind us, trying to comfort one of our investigators, saying, "Don't cry, mommy," and it's just like, what the hell that come from?
Yeah.
There's no children with us at that place.
To that online. That was wow.
It's trippy. Just.
Have you heard that one? Yeah.
Yep. So it's freaky, but it is what it is. So very cool. Any final thoughts we want to? It's getting about that time. Want to wrap up with anything?
Wow, 8:59. Wow.
What?
We didn't get a chance to even ask the questions. We still can real quick. We can go extra.
let's
do it.
Just a few.
My questions to each one of you, I'm going to pose these to these two guys, our guests, is what got you into the paranormal? Was it an experience, or was it something you were fascinated along with, or and also with a follow-up, what's the most either interesting or scariest thing you guys have ever witnessed? Anybody can jump in?
And go.
I will go first, I guess. My first experience, we'll say, happened when I was 5 or 6 years old. 5 years old, to be exact. It's the first time I ever seen or dealt with the paranormal. We was in the house. My father was on the couch. He was being held down, and my mother was trying to get him off the couch, and I helped her to try to get him off the couch. We seen a light above him transfer over to a coffee table. We had a crystal ashtray, 70s, and that thing shattered from the light. That was my first experience, and then I've had, for the last, let's say 35, 40 years, I've dealt with different versions of the paranormal. The craziest thing I've ever seen was probably down in Galveston. Of course, the Great Flood of 1900.
Oh yeah.
Walking down in Stratz, I can't remember the name of that little area downtown, but man, go down there 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. We were down there bar hopping, and at the end of the night, people are gone. You can feel, you can hear, not necessarily see all the people out there. Spirits and that was the biggest thing for me. My biggest experience that I've had.
Wow.
Yeah, I've had plenty of them. And I enjoy it. And drives my wife crazy a lot. I plan vacations around going to the paranormal sites. So yeah.
Oh, cool. Very cool. What about you, Jake?
I grew up in a house that had a lot of activity. It was always split between my dad, who's a non-believer, and my mom, who is. So I'd spend a lot of time there by myself. There was a lot of noises, footsteps, whispers, stuff like that. That you catch, maybe you were too young to understand everything that was going on, but you knew something was going on. So over the years, I just kind of began to seek it out for myself, and I'd tried over the years to find people to seek it out with. And, we discussed that earlier. There's not a lot of people who are open to that, but you guys were, so kind of fell in with you guys, and and at least be able to get some of it out that way,
Definitely.
So I don't know, as far as crazy stuff, just a lot of the stuff that happened in the house I grew up in, a lot of footsteps that would go up and down a hallway upstairs. You get up the gumption to climb up the stairs to where you could look up the other flight, and they'd stop. And as soon as you go back down, they'd start again. And it was clear as day, and it happened on a daily basis.
Oh, wow.
So, still I think one of the best apparitions I've ever seen was at Dodge when I went there in the basement when me and Jeremiah were set up.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was him, and then found out he was behind me, and the area that I saw it walk through wasn't an area you could even walk through.
Right.
So, but I saw it plain as day. I stopped because I thought, I don't know what I thought.
So you're seeing Walter down in the basement?
Or Wyatt.
Wyatt looks just like him.
It was definitely a man. And it was definitely
saw something, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, that
As
was
many
crazy.
times as I've been there, I still have yet to see anything down there.
I really thought it was you. I really did. Because we had just got there, so I didn't know my way around yet or anything. And I'm stringing the cable, and I look up, and he's standing there, so I'm just kind of waiting, thinking, well, he's going to tell me where to go. And then he said, well, just keep going. And he's behind me over here.
What? Wait.
Wow. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. And then the guy that takes care of the place, I forget his name, Carl. Yeah, him and his wife were, oh yeah, well, we know exactly who that was. That kind of solidified it as that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Very cool. Right on, man. Well, like I said, it was fun having you guys on. As we found out, the time flew by fast. I mean, we could go here easily another 2 hours.
Need to do it again.
We even touched some of the stuff we would like to talk about. And
so just means you got to do it again.
Yeah, we definitely have you guys back.
Yeah.
It's
Good, yeah.
It's fun. Yep.
We had it was a total blast. But for now, we're gonna have to sign off of here. But yeah, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, share everything you can. Help us get the word out about our show, and don't forget to join us again next week when we talk about some real paranormal activity when Roth decides to grow a beard.
Y'all laugh now, just wait.
All right, guys. We had a blast.
Thank you guys again.
Yep. And yeah, okay. I'm just gonna get out of here.
All right.
Everyone have a good week. Stay safe out there, and don't forget to join us again next week.
Bye.
Sounds good.
Bye,
See you.
everybody.